Though quarrels arise, their numbers are few. Laughter and singing will see us through. I'd dealt with monsters before. The Hydra in flank, the mutated dragonlings in stockyard, red scorpions, manticores, all of them dangerous. But no matter how big or how small they were, they all made sense. Limbs, legs, head, fangs, hooves, stingers. The arrangement might be odd, but in their own way, they made sense. This didn't make sense. The walls, floor, ceiling, everything was moving. It was impossible to tell where metal ended and flesh began. Eyes were bulging. Mouths were opened in one long scream. There were organs between the equipment, meaty appendages, intestines. I clenched my stomach as I backed away. It felt like my insides were moving, like my tainted guts were trying to crawl right out of my throat. I fought for one moment and then puked on the inside of my helmet. It wasn't bad compared to what followed at the other end. And worst of all, I wanted to join that scream. It scratched at my throat. "Stop it!" I shouted as I tried to back away, but my limbs were stuck to the floor. No, the floor was crawling up my legs. No, my legs were sinking into the floor. "Stop it, please!" I begged. Then things got worse. It stopped. Those eyes watched. The molded steel and flesh seemed to be waiting, watching. "She's not joined our choir," the mouths whispered. Sweet Celestia. Were they? You can talk," I murmured as I stared. Pony eyes. Pony mouths. Luna saved me. I even saw cutie marks in that mix. "She is very close. Close to joining the choir," one mouth whispered. Rainbow spittle drizzled from its lips. "We should make her join ours instead." The drooling lips grinned. "I don't understand what you mean. A choir? I can't sing." I looked over at Rampage, but her eyes were wide and staring. She looked like a foal trapped in a nightmare. There was a low, long snicker. "Oh, every pony can. Listen." The mouths began screaming. One scream of many notes going on, and I'd been wrong. We were both trapped in a nightmare. I wanted P21 here to blow all this up. I wanted Lacuna here with her stupid goddess to sneer and disdain. I wanted glory. Sweet Celestia, I needed glory to tell me that it was going to be all right. "Stop!" And again they did. A wide, slack-mouthed poking between two monitors murmured, "She does not like our song." It sounded almost apologetic. "Why?" snickered a mare's mouth. "She's so close to us already. She's singing parts herself. We heard her." I felt something move around my hooves, but I couldn't look. "You mean you were singers before this?" I gasped, refusing to look down. If I saw, I would start screaming. I didn't think I would ever stop. "No. We joined the choir after." The mare stuck in the wall beside me murmured softly, "Force her to join. Make her sing." Several of the voices began to babble. Wait! What happened here?" I asked, looking around. Oh, goddesses, my insides were moving. I felt a little wire in my mind, and it was like being drawn tighter and tighter. And then it stopped. The eyes stared at me, pony eyes watching and blinking and staring. There were veins running along the deformed metal and around the equipment. They pulsed as the lips slowly moved on their own. I stared at the ropey gray intestines and felt my own squirming within. "There was a box," whispered the lips near the pedestal. "A box came with a mystery within." Rampage murmured beside me. Blackjack, we need to get out of here. Please, let's just get out of here. A mysterious container, containing a wonder. The lips murmured. I felt something on my legs, but I was incapable of moving. I could only stare into the eyes. Goddesses, was there something in my eye socket again? Glory'd burned it out. Burned it! One of the screens, its surface bulging like a blister, flashed to life. The image was a mess of bilious greens and yellows as it showed bucks and mares around a small black box. One mare, with some sort of pastry or cake on her rump, opened the black case. I was Applejack's cousin. I could open it, came a whisper from a green mouth above. The silver bullet came out and was placed on the warped pedestal. What are you doing? I asked as I felt my stomach heave again, then swallowed. Freeze. Cold. So cold. A blue pair of lips murmured before licking back a trickle of rainbow snot. On the screen, a mechanical arm swung over the pedestal, and a diamond wafer touched the metal. We tried to cut, oh so carefully, but we could not. We knew not. The twisted grin cackled. But I remember the secret. I remember the metal, the note. One of the bucks on the screen waved his hooves enthusiastically. To the rest gathered around the frozen bullet. The note of our song. Now I watched with fascination as the blade cut the silvery metal with ease. Unicorn magic pulled it apart. Blackjack, we have to go. This is fucked up. We need to go right now. But I couldn't move. I had two choices. Watch and learn, or start screaming. I felt something in the back of my throat. I prayed that I was only imagining it. Moving. A minute, I croaked as the silver bullet was cracked open. I have to see this, because everything else would make me scream. That's a weird bullet, Rampage murmured at my blind side. That wasn't a bullet. I might know dick about, well, all this, but I knew my bullets. It might have been bullet-shaped, but the entire thing was one solid worked piece of metal divided into two sections. The larger of the two, a distorted half-sphere near the base of the shell, and with its broad flat side on the dividing wall, was packed full of grayish paste like P-21's explosives. A small hole pierced through the shell to the small compartment, most of which was taken up by a strange glowing hexagonal piece of crystalline stone that the robot arms saw hadn't been able to cut through. Packed around the stone was some kind of thick goop that reminded me of that rainbow sludge now drizzling out of the lips of the room. I exposed myself to that sludge each time I'd fired Folly. I remembered the warped and twisted bones in Ironshod's firearms, R&D. Melted like this room. Scalpel had detected the taint in me days after I'd fired Folly at Miramir. After firing it in the factory, I'd been told by triage that my taint exposure had jumped once again. I'd been killing myself with every shot of the superweapon. No, not killing myself. Turning myself into this. The room muttered, giggling, and laughed softly. What is that? That crystal? That sludge? That metal? I gasped. I lurched, but managed not to fall over. I knew I'd seen that odd glowing gem somewhere before. The room, however, gave a hateful shriek that made me spasm. The walls began to pulsate. Blackjack? Tell me we can get the fuck out of here. Blackjack? Rampage said. I tried to wave my hoof to buy some time, but I couldn't lift it. Shit. Oh, shit. Shit, she muttered. That rock. of a lesser song, the metal of a great glory, the potion, the ichor of the meddler, a neutral buffer to separate the two. The mouse murmured in unison. Sing with us. Sing with your screams with us. The others can't join. She is a false unity, but you can be together with us. Unity? I gasped as I struggled to step back. I couldn't step anywhere. My heart was beating so hard that I was amazed I hadn't fallen flat on my face. You're with the goddess. The mouths were silent. One chuckled, then another. Then the rest went wild in mad glee. She is not a child of the choir. Imitation, false, forgery, manufactured. She babbles our tune, and will be undone. She is not a true choir, nor is your friend there. Isolated, separated, she cannot join us. Thank goodness. Now, Blackjack, out, now. But I couldn't get out. I couldn't leave. If I did, part of me would tear its way out of my body and stay. A part that wanted to stay. And you're a true choir. I gasped for air again, and swallowed, desperate to puke again if I could. I wanted to get whatever was inside me out. The walls were beating like a heart, but with an alien beat, singular contractions rather than a double pulse. I imagined my own heart was beating in time with the meat. Please let it only be in my head. We are, but trapped in flesh, kept apart. We will join, in time, when we were the latest to join the greatest choir in such a long time. The greater song, they murmured in unison. Let us sing for you. And one began to scream, then another, and another. Their screams blended together, one building on the next with a singular note, a note that grew and grew, and I was singing with it. Not through my lips. No. It was coming from inside my chest. I was going to sing with it too, till there was nothing left but that song. Blackjack, glory's waiting. Rampage yelled in my face. Then I stared at my friend, her red and white stripes seeming to melt together. Her tissue looked mottled and knotted, even scaly, and there was a wing forcing itself out of her shoulder through a gap in her armor. As I watched, a small horn was twisting slowly out of the side of her head. Are you just going to leave her up there while we to wonder what happened to us? That shout and that look snapped me out of it for a precious moment. I looked down at my hooves, but the metal meat amalgamation had sealed itself around each of them like concrete. I only hoped that the safety suit had prevented me from fusing completely with the floor. Cut me out. It's time to get out of here. I tugged and struggled and rampaged toward the floor with the hoof claws, but each slash splattered us with rainbow ichor, and the rents healed, and the scream bored deeper into my mind with every passing second. Rampage turned to the screens, the distorted pictures now showing the bullet letting off plumes of rainbow gas and the ponies around it melting and falling into still living heaps. One showed the walls chewing pickets, and Celestia. Were those teeth I felt working on the ends of my limbs, chewing through the suit? I blasted with the shotgun, wishing I'd loaded incendiary rounds. Damn it! Will you bastards play something else? That song is old. Rampage yelled as she struggled to free my right leg. And then I felt it, a squirm inside of me, at the words as the screams went on inside me and around me. Oh, goddesses. Inside me. Inside me. The screaming was inside me. I felt like I was going to give birth or something. It was going to claw its way out of me, turn me inside out. I wanted to take her ripper and tear myself open. Get it out. Get it out now. Calm down, Blackjack, rasped the dealer in my ear. Go into sats. What? But I couldn't argue. I simply wanted to scream forever. I did.